Now, the other thing is, why don't we talk about HELOCs?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do this. Why don't we talk through how much you've got available in your HELOC? Does that sound good?
Yeah, let me pull up my spreadsheet. Because I was looking at this
And
last.
I'll just hop over to my whiteboard and we can talk through these numbers, okay?
Okay.
All right. So for a HELOC, most lenders will only lend up to 80% of the value of your home, right?
Yep.
So they're only going to lend up to 80% of the value of your home. So there's the value of your home times 80% is your max, right? And that's how much the max debt you can take out on a home, right? So that also includes the outstanding balance. Okay, so it's going to be the value of your home minus value of your home times 80% minus whatever you've got left on your note.
Right.
Okay. So all we need to know is what's left on your note and the value of your home, just an estimation, and we can find out exactly how much money you'll have available.
So this is market value like today, correct?
Yes.
Because they would have to do an appraisal, I would guess, to actually.
Yeah, they'll do an appraisal.
Okay. So I was looking at homes that sold within the past couple of months, which I guess that's the advantage of having a townhome is there's a lot of comps out there.
Yeah.
And one with the exact same square footage, same layout, everything exact same as my home sold for $350.
Okay. So let's say that's right. All right. And how much do you have left on your note?
217,000.
Okay. Okay, so now we can do a little bit of math. 350 times 80% is 280. Okay. Minus 217. And we are left with 63 grand. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
Okay. So you've got essentially, you've got a reasonable expectation of having 63 grand available to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if your house appraised for more than that, you'd have more available. If it appraised for less than that, you'd have less available. But at least you know about how much you'll have available, because you won't have, I know you bought your house for 250, now it's worth 350. You won't have that $100,000 available. But the 63K for a HELOC, the way that you would instantiate that, or that you would actually make that happen, is anybody can offer a HELOC on your property. It doesn't have to be your current lender. And that's a common misconception. Your current lender doesn't have to be the one that provides you the money against the equity of your house. This can be any lender. So that this lender is essentially saying, Bree, we're going to loan you $63,000. We're going to make it available on a line of credit. And I'll explain that, the difference between that and a loan. We're going to make this money available to you, and we're going to secure it with the equity in your home. So essentially they get a second lien position on your home. So if you were to sell it, you can just sell it out from under them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They would first, that you get $350,000. The first lien would be paid out first. So 217 grand would go to your first lien. And then the other $63,000 would be paid off to your second. So that's how they are protecting themselves. But it can come from any different lender. The nice part is it's a line of credit, not a loan. And so a loan, you pay interest on the day that you get it. You get all the money up front and you pay interest on it, whether you're using it or not. A line of credit is just something that says, hey, you've got this amount of money available and you only pay interest on it when you use it.
Yep.
So essentially they'll give you like a credit card most of the time. And you've got a $63,000 balance on it. I'd recommend on the HELOC, reach out to 3 or 4 different lenders, maybe 5, and say, hey, what are your rates on HELOC right now? They might give you an actual rate, a lot of times with lenders, what they'll say is, well, that depends, we probably need to get on the phone and talk. And I mean, when I'm sourcing those types of initial conversations, I don't want to get on the phone and talk for 30 minutes with everybody. I just don't have the
Yeah.
time for that.
Yeah.
So I'll say, let's assume these things. Like, let's assume I've got a 750 credit score, and let's assume I'm W-2'd, and like all of it, just kind of minimize the variables. What general range would you expect these to be in? And usually it will either be a percentage, or they'll say prime plus 1.5, or prime plus 1, prime plus 2. And that means the standard prime rate, which is not defined by them, is defined by, I believe, the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the percentage that the federal government loans out to other primary lending institutions. So if that's 3% and they're giving you prime plus 1, then your loan's going to be 4%, right? If it's prime plus 2, it'll be 5%. So they'll give you both of those. Then that will give you the option to have some things to compare. So if you've got 3 or 4 different lenders that reply and they say prime, they're all prime plus 1, then you can ask them, well, what are your closing costs? Like, what fees am I going to incur outside of the title company? Right? Because the title company, you can pick your title company, but what fees are you charging? Or is there an origination fee or whatnot? That will help you determine, what's the best situation for me.
Right.